Hello, everyone. This is John Garcia today with Mrs. Donna Fox and David Lemon. Guys, say hi to our audience today.
Hi there.
Hey, hey everybody. Hi.
Alrighty, we are about to start our day number two for our challenge, for GrooveKart Day Challenge. Today, we're going to have a very exciting day. We are going to have a very interesting hands-on training session. We're going to explore the navigation, we're going to explore the settings and how to set up in the first part your GrooveKart store. Now, as always, just a couple of things. David is going to be helping us out in the chat, as well as Donna. Donna is going to participate actively with me today because she is the showcase of this challenge. We're going to be using her store in order to, complete our challenge and complete all our sessions. So let's just take a look. Let me open up my questions here. And now I see a lot of people already. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Now, by pressing number 3, who is here for the first time? Please let me know. Who is here for the first time? All right, we have a lot of trees. That's nice. We're looking like a forest. We have a lot of trees. All right, I love that. The screen
That
share.
was a dad joke for real dad
Hey,
joke right there, John.
I know. Hey, sometimes I get that. Yes, guys, we're about to share the screen. No worries. I just make sure that uh, we get everybody situated here, and let's get started. So let's just show my screen. Welcome to the 60-day GrooveKart Challenge. All right, guys, as I mentioned today, we're going to have a hands-on training, but before that, we are going to just show you a couple of the things that you need to memorize and learn in order to effectively use your GrooveKart store. As always, it's a pleasure to be here. It's going to be fun. And welcome to all of those that are here for the first time. And I hope that today's class, as the next 6 weeks, are going to make you a GrooveKart expert. Maybe not an expert, but is going to enable you to actually do what you need to do with your cart and be successful at it. So with that said, let's just see if I have a couple of questions here right away, but no, we don't have a lot of questions. So as I mentioned earlier, David and Donna are going to be on the chat helping us out today. And
Allison was nice enough to let you know that you typed your name wrong. I said the typo's on your birth certificate.
oh yes, well, and I bet that she is a number 3 today, right? She's one of the new person. And yes, long story short, and I don't like to tell this story because people ask me, hey, did you misspell your name all the time? It's like, no, unfortunately, it was, I was baptized, I was registered in the hospital with that name. Try to explain that when you're getting a passport or a driver license, it's not fun. But hey,
I love it.
it's, well, Donna knows the story sometimes, probably day 4. Once we get to know each other better, I'll probably tell you the story, maybe at day 4, day 5 of the challenge. But so guys, let's get started, shall we? I mean, we don't have a lot of announcements. Maybe a couple of things that for those of you guys that are actually here for the first time, I would definitely highly recommend to take a look at last week's webinar. The replay is actually in our Facebook page, as well as the Groove Digital Academy. Just look by the date. It was actually May 16th, if I'm correct, maybe, or 15. So just look it up. It will actually just be there, and so you get a better context. And I always ask this when we have new people in the webinar, because I don't want to provide just half-ass information. I'm part of my French. So as soon as you're done with the webinar today, maybe over the weekend, go back to the recording one so you get with the program, because we have a couple of things that we said last week that you are going to miss and maybe don't have the same opportunity to interact the way that we want you to. But thank you for being here. For all the people that are new here for the first time, and again, if I have my DJ console, I probably just put the background as a round of applause for all of you to take the time today, because it takes a lot of effort to come in a Thursday afternoon to be with us, and we sincerely appreciate the time. So let's get started. Now, what we're gonna do today is we're gonna get to know the dashboard and the admin control, which is the same thing, but within the actual platform, we kind of have a little bit of differentiation there, and you will know why. Then we're gonna get to know the new navigation, which is cool. And then we're gonna do the setup. It's gonna be an hour and a half, fun filled with better and good knowledge of the platform. And the last, as always, we're gonna do the QA. And of course, we're gonna respond questions along the way. So as you get the handle of this challenge, this was created for you guys, for our customers, so you can get to know the platform better, especially with the new improvements and the new updates that we have done in the past months. So we introduced that maybe 3-4 weeks ago, and we decided to start a nice and fun way for people to start using their cards, their Groove cards, and learn on the process. And of course, once we have the idea of how to use the cards better, we understand better the process, and we can make our shopping carts faster, better, and prettier, and of course, make more money. So now let's start with point one. This is the new dashboard, and I just took a screenshot here because I'm gonna talk for the next maybe 10 minutes about why we did the design the way we did it and why it was just simplified. Maybe for those of you that didn't experience with version one, the version one was a little bit more, the icons were a little bit rougher and a little bit bigger. So we actually hired, and Donna, could you help me out here? What was the name of the actual UX expert that we hired at the beginning of the year? Do you remember his name?
Don't Tomas? Is that Tomas?
I think it was Tomas. Yeah, I think it was
Yeah.
Tomas.
Yeah. I don't remember his last name.
Me neither. So I don't feel that bad now. But he's a young guy, Tomas, and he actually just came in and redid a lot of stuff for us. And I believe that a lot of the people, a lot of the customers that we actually ask, they love the new interface because it's simplified. It actually loads up faster and it goes to the point. And I am going to be talking about where each of those icons that you see, their go-to, so their functions. We're going to talk about that. And then we're going to do the demo with Donna because guess what? As we mentioned it last week as well, we are going to be using Donna's store to actually showcase the whole process. So we were looking for a store to do, and then Donna said, you know what, I haven't touched my store in a couple of weeks. Let's just do something with this. And she was gracious enough to allow us to do that. And she's gonna take a little bit of the backseat today. So
I love that you say gracious. I feel like I'm selfish to be working on my store. So if you see it as gracious, I love that.
Hey, well, you know what? We could have picked anybody else's. Hey, one of my stores, anyways. But I'd rather just do that with somebody that had zero experience because I know Donna is part of the company. She's an absolute marketing maven. But when it comes to GrooveKart, as to her own account, she has some limitations. So we said, hey, why don't we just use your store? And she accepted. And this is going to be the progress. We're going to be recording the progress of her store, which at the same time, in parallel, we want you to be the same progress. So as we advance, we want you to advance with us. And by the way, guys, in every single challenge, in every single class, there's always assignments. So by the end of the day, we're going to give an assignments. Yes, today, unfortunately, it's going to be an assignment because we want you to keep engaged and we want you to be here every Thursday for the next 6 weeks. We started last week, so it's actually 8 weeks. So we want you to be here because this is important for us because it serves a lot of things for us as a company, but also it helps you to understand the process. It helps you to get to know what to do in certain circumstances and also understand better the system. So now that you have a little bit of a background in why this was redone, let's just analyze a little bit of each part. So I'm going to start with this dashboard navigation. So it's actually located at the left of the screen, and we have, I believe it's 9 buttons, 9 icons. And most of you probably have been there already, but the very first button, the big P, and pay attention to this because the big P is referenced in a couple of places by this guy right here. And I'm gonna point this guy right here. Let me introduce it to all of you that are here for the first time. His name is Curious Carl. If you see Curious Carl during any of the challenge, during any of the extent of the sessions of the challenge, he's going to have a question on top. Without me asking that question, whoever's answered the question in the actual chat box or in the question box, your name is going to be on the list. And at the end of the challenge, we're going to pick all the actual people that answered the questions without us asking. And we're going to pick a winner, and we're going to have some prizes. So, and also the challenge has a prize. We haven't forgot, because I already see a couple of comments. Did I read that right? Oh no, so we're going to have a prize for the winner, because we're going to explain the process in a couple of days. So continue to this. The very first icon is the products icon. That's where the products that you will find the product that you're selling. So when you click to the P, it will be to the products. It kind of makes sense and it's logical. Now, the very next icon towards the bottom is actually the find products. And a lot of people get confused in this part, and I'm going to just point it out now, since we're talking about the descriptions, is because a lot of people get confused with the product you're selling and the products that you're going to get from somebody else. So the find products icon, which is the second one, will take you to all the partnered apps, meaning the Tscape, the AliExpress, the Printful, and all of those areas. We will show you in a second. The third icon is the categories icon. That's where your categories will reside. And of course, whatever categories you create, it will be related to your products. Again, the next one is actually discounts. That's the page where you create your discounts. If you have a promotion code, a discount code, you can create in that page. Then my orders, your orders will be here. Any order that you receive, it will be on this link. The next one is abandoned carts, information about your abandoned carts, or the 3-step process, which we're going to touch base in, I believe it's in day 3 or 4, once we do the email setup. The very next icon is your customers. That's where you'll find your customer information, email address, name, addresses, etc., etc. And the very next icon on the bottom is your help desk. That's where you get your messages from your customers. You get to set up an email address, and you get your messages there in your help desk. And the app manager, the last icon, is where you have all the apps that will help you to enhance your store, meaning all your scarcity tools, any other integrations that you want to add. For example, your MailChimp or your Zapier, if you want an extra functionality to go a certain place. We do have a large array of applications we will gonna show tonight, so we're gonna get to see that. Now, the second part of the navigation is this right here. It's very close. It's actually right above the main navigation. And it just has 5 buttons. It's actually very simple. The little house comes back to your main dashboard. We have a product designer, which is identified as an icon. And the settings page will have the little wheel as an icon. And the visual editor or the page editor will be the little box with it just looks like a programming box. And then the quiz creator. It's very simple. But the reason why I actually add this in the slides is because sometimes it's easier when you're working in the computer. If you print something that you don't remember where you need to go, instead of going back and forth, you can print the slides and use them when you're working with your store. That's why we decided to do that. So you can print this page, and you can print this page, and obviously this page, because this is the last part. These icons are located at the top left of the screen, actually the top right of the screen. And it just shows you your store link, which is identified by the little logo on the shopping cart or logo. Then the little house will take you to the Groove Marketplace, which we'll talk about. Also, the little graduation cap will take you to the GrooveKart Academy. This little button right here that looks like a curved arrow will actually clear the cache information in your store. And the little bell will give you the alerts page, where all your messages and all your notifications will be. And lastly, the account information is identified by the icon with the little person inside of the circle. So that is right now the 3 biggest parts of the navigation. But how about if we take a look at it? What do you guys think? Should we actually take a look at it? Let me have a 7 if you guys want to see all of the buttons that I just mentioned, so we can get to know them better. Oh, and people were paying attention. I love that. So David, do me a favor. Can you take a look at the chat box and see who actually the first 5 people that answered the question that Curious Carl did? Just have him in that list. So just go back, and I believe I have
Yep,
already
I
a
have him
couple.
here.
Awesome, great, perfect. Appreciate it, buddy. And you see, that's the way we keep you guys awake. And so take a look. I believe the first answer was recorded at 6:13, 6:14, I believe. So, yep. And of course, people got the idea, and I love it. Awesome. Even a couple of people that actually are here for the first time, which I love it because that means that you guys are engaged. So let's do that. I think a clear catch. Perfect. Awesome. Great, guys. Thank you for the answer. So you guys know now a little bit more insight. And this is why I created those slides. So you can print them out, have them handy whenever you're working with the store. So you'll know. So you know exactly what they do. And now let's just go to the store. This is actually Donna Fox's store, with soon to be Donna. Do you want to disclose your domain name yet,
So
or?
exciting. Sure. Yeah, we're going to make it donnafoxart.com. I just bought the domain earlier today.
Awesome. Yeah, because believe it or not, we're going to set up the domain today. You guys are going to get firsthand action, live action, and how to set up your domain name, because I know that all these processes, all these steps might take a toll when you're starting your store. So that's why we decided to do this. So we make it in a fun environment with a real store, a store that is completely new, has been touched for anything for a long time. So we are going to build it up from the ground up. So this is the perfect opportunity for you guys to explore that and learn along the way. So now this is Donna's store. I mean, this is how the stores are set up right now. They're just pretty much absolutely nothing. It's just the information that we have once we create the stores. There's nothing. So we're gonna make sure that by week 6, this store is ready to start making some money and start selling some paintings. Because believe it or not, and I think I mentioned it last week, Mrs. Donna Fox is a very avid painter, and she does absolutely gorgeous work. And she decided to sell some of her paintings. So it's going to be really awesome to have her paintings here. So now, Donna, how do you feel right now that we're going to just start this process? And I know that you and I spoke a little bit earlier, and you said that you were static, but let's hear it from you.
Yeah, it's very, very exciting. It's a little nerve-wracking for some reason. I don't even know why. It's not like I'm new to marketing stuff, but I am new to putting my paintings out there on products. I'm very excited about that, and I can't wait to see what we can do. That's all I had to say. Do you want me to talk more? John. Uh-oh, now I am worried.
No, no,
John,
no,
you've
no, no, no
disappeared.
worries.
Oh,
No
good.
worries.
I'm like, where'd you go?
I am back.
Don't
It,
leave
it,
me. Please don't leave me.
for 30 seconds, unfortunately, my mic stopped responding, and I was just like moving cables here, and I just realized that I unplugged it accidentally. So I am glad that it was just a small glitch, and
Me
you're not
too.
alone. So, and now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a look at this. But before we take a look at this, let me just show you guys how do we get there? How do we get to the actual uh, administration, or the dashboard as we call it? We call it several different ways. So what we're gonna do now is, Donna, do you mind if, well, I can probably cover in the video anyways, but I'm gonna do this offline while we log in. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you how you log in into the your store. So you go to mygroovekart.com, and I am going to move this momentarily. You can see my email. I just don't have a problem, but I know maybe Donna doesn't feel comfortable having all of you knowing her personal email. So I'm going to move this out of the way for a second. I'm going to log in using her personal email because, as I said, this is her personal account. However, she was gracious enough to provide me that information earlier. So I'm going to just log in with her information, and you guys will see what happens. So 30 seconds here while I do this. And of course, I know something that is not going to copy for some reason. Okay, now it's copying. And I'll bring back the screen in just a second. I just don't want you to get, a lot of fan mail. So
Thank you. I appreciate that.
no worries. I mean, I learned my lesson with last time putting people's cell phone. So I kind of just like, nope, it's not cool to do that. So let me just log in now. Awesome. We are logging in. Log into your GrooveKart. It's already loading. And now we are in the dashboard. And this is what I was talking about right now, the big P, the find products, the curve arrow. This is somebody, I just saw a comment that says, where is the curve arrow? I don't see it. The curve arrow is right here, right next to the bell. It actually just clears the cache on your store. But so this is it, guys. This is actually the store now live in the flesh. We're using, as you can see, Donna Fox's store. And let's get started. Let's just get to it. So let me just jump in here and where we're gonna go. Since it's a setup time, we actually did this in record time. We have a full hour to actually do this. I'm gonna touch base on where we're gonna start and how we're gonna do it. We're gonna start with the store information, the payment methods, the domain name, how to set up the domain name. We're gonna do that live. Shipping, taxes, staff accounts, email, international settings, and pixels and feed embedded codes. I am going to talk about all of them. However, the ones that you're looking at right now with the little asterisk at the end, we are going to have sessions strictly for those 4 items. How to create your shipping rates, how to manipulate your taxes, how to create your emails or your actually I forgot the term. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. I need to see the store now.
I don't know. I can't help you.
Hold on. I'm drawing a blank. My train of thought just left me. Your abandoned carts. I'm sorry. Or your emails for the abandoned carts. There's going to be a whole process for that. And of course, I clicked in it. I'm sorry. And we're going to have your staff accounts, your international settings. Because yes, for any of us that have international stores, you can actually accommodate your store with certain international settings, including very soon different languages. Part of the release that is going to happen, I believe, is in mid-June or July. It's going to have a couple of languages. I believe we're going to start with French and Spanish, if I'm correct. I know Mr. Mazzaralta is the one that knows the details of these updates. I will get more information as we go along with the challenge, but it is going to have a couple of new languages, and of course, we're going to keep bringing out more more languages as we go along. And also, of course, all the information about the pixels, feeds, and embedded codes, which has to do with Facebook, analytics for Google, and all that great information that makes your store, get connected with everyone and everything. So now, before I go now to the hands-on, let's check if we have any question. Do we have any questions, Donna or David, so far that hasn't been answered?
No, so far everything is okay.
Awesome. So a lot of people are paying attention. I see the 7s.
Yep.
Allison Masari says she said that she found the answer, so that's great. Allison Messieurs that received an error. Let us know what error was it so we can actually help you out to resolve it. And abandoned cart, Ardith Martin, yes, abandoned cart is something that we have a process set up. So when people go to your e-commerce store and they do not buy something, but they actually left a little bit of crumbs, a little bit of information, either the name, their email address, we have a process that you can email them and offer them something, or maybe the products that they forgot in the checkout cart, and maybe offering them a discount, or maybe offer them something that might entice them to complete the purchase. But we will touch a little bit more on that. Let's take a look at any other question. Love this, totally clueless. Grace Beard, no worries, that's what we're here for. Just enjoy the challenge. Don't take it too serious. We're gonna have fun. Of course, this is important because we're all learning, but we try to make it fun. Right, Donna? We always try to make things fun.
Always.
All right.
Sometimes we succeed.
Yeah, well, when I pull up kind of dad jokes, yeah, sometimes that's the fun part. All right, so we are the dashboard and let's get started. So as I mentioned earlier, my products. Right now, Donna has no products because we just started, but when we click the button, you will have a list of all your products. And as it actually loads, in the products tab, you can actually just do a couple of things. You can add new products right here on the top or export your products. And the export function is when you need to send your product somewhere else. But we're going to revisit the products page once in a while, and every time we actually going to add products when we're going to just discuss that. I believe is in day 3, because we're going to need this a lot because we're going to all have products. That's what the intention is, of course, something to sell. And we're going to talk about what kind of products. But today is merely a presentation of all the settings and the buttons, so we all know where they are. And let's just go with find products. This is, I'm going to take a look, a closer and deeper look today with this one, because there's a lot of questions when we did the upgrade. There's a lot of people saying, no, this is not loading. I don't know where my products are. I don't know where my third-party apps are. So we decided to put it down here on the find products icon, because we try to call them apps, but the problem was that apps has, its own manager right at the bottom of the page. So we decided to create its own area where you actually can get in touch with all of our third-party vendors and partners. For example, in this case, we have the Layer app. When you click Learn More, you can actually go to the app and you can set up the app. You have some information that you can set it up and work with the app without any problem, because you just have your API information. You can actually create a product, manage your orders, product configuration, account settings, and etc. We're gonna go in deep with these apps at the product addition portion of the class. Right now, again, just to remind you, we're just getting to know these little buttons, but let me go back so I can show you all of the third-party options that we have here. And if you're looking at the replay right now, I mean later on, if you're looking at the replay, you will understand why we're doing this, because I want you guys to understand where everything is. I mean, when you know where everything is and you know you will find it faster, the process of learning is easier. That's why we're doing this in the second day. Learn how learn where everything is, and then of course how to manipulate it. And of course my internet is having a tough day today, because I just clicked back and I haven't seen it return to the actual page. It's going to take a couple more seconds. I don't know if you have experienced any internet meltdowns lately. I have in the
I
past
know
couple
I
of
have.
days. And well, besides of the fact that 90% of the people are working from home and having classes from home, Zoom is making millions of dollars. So it is fun. So this is the product icon. That's where you find your products. Let me just go back. It just took me directly through to the different section. Now, as I said, you get all of your information here for GrooveDrop, Ali Connect, Tscape, Slingly, Dropify, the GrooveKart Marketplace, Printful, Pure and Well, and anything else that is going to come soon. So we're going to add them here. And as I said, we're going to touch a little bit more on each of these when we're going to create the products, because every single of these companies, they serve a different purpose. They actually have, for example, Layer App, you can design products. Ali Connect, you can sell any products that you want from AliExpress. Tscape, also you can design apparel, t-shirts, even baby clothing. Slingly offers also print-on-demand services. Dropify is just like an aggregator of information. You just provide your membership number. They actually just do that as a separate membership. And you can actually connect to several retailers and add the products directly to your store, to your GrooveKart store. The GrooveKart Marketplace is actually where you can find help, believe it or not. If you are thinking of opening a store that actually has designs for kids, in the Groove Marketplace, which I'll show eventually today, once we cover that menu, you will see that we have a lot of products that you can download and replicate and sell within your store, which I'll explain the process once we get there. Printful was actually the latest addition. Many of you know Printful is one of the largest companies for print on demand as well. They do have a large selection of products. It was, as I said, the latest release that we added in GrooveKart, and so far we have gotten a lot of great reviews on the products, the process, and how everything has actually been done with the selection. And Pure and Well is actually, or let's just say that you say, or healthness products, or well, I call it healthness because it's wellness and health. And you'll have a large array of vitamins and supplements that you can sell in your stores. Just have in mind, guys, because I get this question a lot about Pure and Well. Pure and Well, even though it's a store that we can create for you, it requires a certain specific merchant account. You could not sell these products, or I'd rather say you can sell the products. You cannot charge these products to a regular merchant system like PayPal or Stripe. You need to have something called a high risk account, and GroovePay can provide that for you. I am not sure if at this juncture Stripe or PayPal might have a little bit of a leniency when it comes to this type of accounts, but always is good to ask them to see if you have the ability to do any store that has supplements and health related products. And of course, the coming soon, we're going to have a couple of them that are unannounced. We're still working on them, so you will see them here. So in your Find Products page, you will find all the third-party apps and partners that we have, and that's where you get your products if you decide to do either drop shipping or print on demand. Now the categories, of course, is going to be an empty page because we don't have any products, therefore there are no categories, but that is where you actually create the list of categories. So if you have, let's say, a category, when you click add your first category, if you decide to create a whatever product it is, maybe it's t-shirts, maybe is art paintings, maybe it's just lithographs, printings, whatever product it is, you start with the category. You start planning what you're going to sell, where you're going to sell it. So the category is where you start. Category will have a name, then a description. If you have a cover image, you can actually upload the file. You can add a file. It will pop open, and then you can just add the file. Then the meta description and the friendly URL. I'm going to make a little bit stop here to explain about these two, the meta description and the friendly URL. And I'm making this stop here because a lot of people have asked us, where in the products pages or the category pages do we add the SEO information? Right here, the meta description that you put in your categories that is displayed in your search engine optimization results is right here. So anything that you want to describe your category as detailed as possible, and we will actually be talking about this once we get to the category products or add products to a certain category, which is I think day 2 or 3, actually day 3 or 4. So now this is very simple. It's just a matter of filling the fields, and you're done with the category or categories, I should say. Now the discount button is where you create, as I mentioned, any discounts on your products. If you want to create a discount for an amount of people that the people purchase, that your visitors or your customers will purchase, you can create a an amount or a percentage. And this is unbelievably slow today, and is just cramping completely my style because I forgot my train of thought. Just looking at this little thing,
just waiting for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I have to put a stop right now on my commentary because this thing is just not loading today.
I was trying to set up some Google accounts for new staff members today, and I was having the same issue with Google's website. Just would not load for me.
Yeah, it's I think it's general. I believe right now it's a situation that unfortunately it's gonna be the new normal until a lot of new technologies are gonna come out and get people to the right speed again. It's not easy to have a country of 120 something million people and 75% on the internet at all times. I mean, I could imagine companies like Comcast and what is the other big one? Maybe Roadrunner, At
Cox
least,
is what I have, Cox
yeah.
Communications.
Oh yeah, I have Cox Communications, yes. So it's going through the same trunk, but it's just like now it's gonna freezing. I don't know if that's also my internet, and because I have my backup here, but it is one of those things that is not really helping me today. Uh, oh, apparently it's loading now. So the
And that's how
discounts,
you know this is live, folks.
yeah, exactly. That's how you know this. Oh, I didn't click anything, and it just came back to it. So now that was you create the and I just click back again. I'm such a dum dum. My orders, that's where I meant to go. That's the very next icon towards the bottom, and that's where you see all that matters to some people, the money. So this is where you get your information about the net profit per visit, your average order value, your abandoned carts, and your conversion rate. So all your orders will be here. It will be listed, and of course we're going to do a couple of sample orders so you see how the interaction will happen, and that will happen once we add products and actually just do the wrap up, and we do the testing of the final testing of the store. Very next button is the abandoned cart, and we had a question about this. The abandoned cart is actually where we create all the emails, and as you can see here, there's a couple of formulations here and a couple of not formulations, but a couple of codes that we actually have in order to create the actual email templates, because again, GrooveKart was designed for conversions. So whenever you have a card and you have a product and somebody got a slight interest on your product and they go to your shopping cart and they purchase something, or they did not purchase, rather they just decided to leave in the middle of the checkout process, you have that information, you gather that information, and have in mind, this is if if your visitor filled out the first form. It's always like the billing information or the shipping information. So, or if they decided to open an account as a customer, which I'll explain to you a little bit later. So if they do that, then you're gonna have to use this three-step process, or the sequence as we call it here, for the abandoned cart. Why? Because the sequence will allow you to send an email maybe 24 hours later, or 48 hours later, or 72 hours later to that customer, reminding him, hey, Mr. Peter, you forgot to actually take a look at this product. You forgot to purchase it. What happened? Here's a 10% so we can help you to make that decision and get that product that you wanted. So that's what it happens in the actual abandoned carts. Uh, then we have your help desk. I don't know if we have set up the help desk here yet as far as of an email, but I'm gonna click it anyways and see what we are going to get, because I see that it will have to have a form where you can actually just check all your emails. And I just checked the speed of my internet is not the optimal speed right now in my area, which I'm afraid that is gonna do something. Okay, perfect. You see here. So
Did you
here
just do a
is,
speed cast while you were streaming live video? You did a speed test?
yes, that's probably, yeah,
You are a
well,
brave
just
man.
trust me, I've been sweating for the past 3.5 minutes profusely. And no, it's not a pretty picture. So here, so your help desk, you get all the information that you're gonna see here. Also on top, you're gonna have your notifications here. And this is what happens when you do things live. The icon for the bell disappear. Now it says notifications that you have none. So the total threads, if you have any customer contacting you, will be listed here. The threads pending, unread threads, pretty much all your information with your customers will pretty much be organized here. The contact options will be if you allow them to upload a file, if they need to send maybe a proof of a communication, maybe something that they need to send you as an attachment, you can actually do that with your customers. And that's pretty much it. You will have all the information here, and maybe we can attach this as well. And last but not least, at least in this section, is the app manager. The app manager is when you find all of the extra apps that makes GrooveKart GrooveKart. All the integration, the extra programs that you can get and you can experience with to make sure your store is completed. And as soon as this thing loads, I'll be able to show you. You will find here all the connections to your chat box in Facebook, to your MailChimp, and many other connections here. But I am having a really fun time here with this today. So it's gonna just take a couple of more seconds while it loads completely. And while we do that, press the number 8 if you're paying attention. I love it. There's a lot of 8s. I'm like, yeah,
We're paying attention to your spinning wheels.
yes. And I do sincerely appreciate it, guys. And as Donna said, this is how you know this is live. And I'm afraid to click it again because I don't want to just try to reload the page and maybe just overcharge my computer. I'm actually, if you take a look here, my CPU is already past half. That's why I didn't even try to load it up again. I don't want my computer to crash in the middle of the of the actual webinar. That would be a bad idea. So my memory is still running fine, but I notice that my CPU is getting a little bit pushing a little bit hard to get the information that we need. So as soon as this thing loads, let me just go back to the screenshot since we are wanting to see. So let me just see if I have a screenshot for this. And this is the other part that we are actually working. So these are, nope, this is not the one. This was actually the one, but here's a screenshot that we want to take attention to. And let's take a look why it hasn't loaded. Let me just try to do a reload again. And yes, that was a brave move.
Yeah, that is a sure recipe for getting disconnected.
Yeah, look at
To
that. It's
run
just
speed tests
spiking
during the
up.
webinar. You should turn that off. It's probably
Yeah.
draining you.
No, but this is not the speed. It's actually my CPU. So because
Oh,
when I
that's
don't
just
know,
a recorder. Okay.
yeah, it's just the recorder and things like that. But once you actually are working with so many connections, because I'm trying to not lose sound, and then this is quite taking a long time. And I do not know what happened because it's loading. I'm just afraid that it's already loading, and if I try to reload it again, it might create something else. Okay, let me see, why is it not doing anything else? Somebody said, you guys watching Randy, you just made my afternoon. Randy said he got COVID.
Yeah.
He got the COVID-19. So like, no, hopefully not. Because then everybody will get the COVID. We don't want that to happen. And that's too soon, Randy, too soon. And yeah, and can you do me a favor, Donna? Can you actually just try to see if you can probably get
I can. I was hesitant to just do it because I didn't want to mess it up by us both trying to be in the same store, but let me go ahead and do that. And then if my internet's better, maybe I can share my screen.
Oh, and he just came back to the help desk. So I shouldn't. I'm just a daring person. I'm just gonna try to do it again. Because funny part is that we all test this before and everything was working fine. But I don't know if it's my connection. I don't know if it's the general connection. Maybe. Let me see. David, can you try on your end since you're in the other half of the world? Maybe you have a better luck. If you can tell me if you have access to one of our test stores to
I don't
see
know
if.
if
Yeah,
he does.
sure, I will try.
Please let me know.
He does.
I just want to get to the app manager so I can share the screen. And you know what? Let me just try something else. Off camera. Let me see if I can just, no, it will load it. I just already got a warning. So nope, I won't do it. I don't want to lose you guys. And I should be loading right now. So let's see what happens. Christine, that might be the case. Christine says it because everyone's in GrooveKart. Maybe.
It may be. I
Maybe.
can't get in either. So this might actually be a GrooveKart problem and not an internet problem.
Are we having all or 190, 290 students right now logged in? Maybe.
That's possible.
Yeah, I cannot get in either.
Yeah, it's probably one of our things. But okay, let's just move forward. I mean, I think this is fun, but let me just try some other areas of the actual store so we can move along and make sure that we can test the rest. Let me just see if I have this open. And I have your store open here, so let me just do something here. Just gonna test something really quickly here. And let me just do something. Maybe if I clear this, that might take me somewhere.
There's an extra, yeah, there.
Yeah, this one is loading also, and I think you'll be a general. This is not fun. Let's just see what we can do here. In the meantime, while this loads, let's get to some questions, shall we?
Let's. Good idea. Let's see what we have.
What's going on here, because this, well, it never happens this long and is quite not what I wanted to happen today. So let's just, David, let's just see if we have any questions, and let's take a look at.
Sure,
There's
I
one
flagged.
from, yeah, I
Sorry.
see a couple flagged.
Mhm.
So there's one that I don't remember the answer to, but you would, no problem, John. It's about CBD on GrooveKart. Is our CBD in Pure and Well yet or not yet?
Actually, we can. And thank you. And that question was by Miss Darcy Hall.
Yes.
Darcy, yes, we can actually process CBD. As a matter of fact, GroovePay is one of the few companies in the United States able to accept your CBD processing. So you can send us an email and we can help you to get your processing. Yes, we know that Shopify is kind of iffy about it because all the regulations, and also because in that specific topic in CBD, and this is information from firsthand, the regulations are keep changing. And the latest change that happened was maybe 2 weeks ago about edibles. And if you are up to par with the industry, Darcy, you know that unfortunately edibles are getting a lot of bad names right now because of the amount of THC on the products. So they're kind of cracking down on a lot of those companies that are doing the things wrong. So they might change that regulation. They might not get approved certain edible products, but we are able to take payments. And yes, you can actually have your store that sells CBD. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can back CBD. Do I still have that connected? Let me take a look. You see, this is the funny part, Donna. This is also a store, and is loading fast. So
Well,
I
and
don't know
that's
if
the thing with the way we build our apps, right? Our stores, just like in GrooveFunnels, there's the server where the GrooveFunnels app is, and then there's the server where everyone's pages are. So if our
Right.
app goes down, like it did last night, we're down for a little while, nobody's pages are affected. And isn't that the same with our GrooveKart stores? If the GrooveKart app goes down, nobody's store is affected?
Not the front ends. For some reason, it's just taking a long time, but it's loading. But that is just what really concerns me. But right now, so I can address the question of the CBD. This was actually one of the test stores, and this is going to be at some point a CBD store. I'm actually waiting for my approval for GroovePay, and because I use this as a sample store, I'm actually redesigning everything. So yes, this is actually being allowed in here for a couple of months already. So you can sell CBD. So
So
this
yeah,
is
I'm
the fun
thinking we
part
should
now.
give up working with the GrooveKart store today and just do a general Q&A because I see it's still spinning. None of us can seem to get it to work, and I know that they're working on the interface, so maybe they're in the middle of something that's slowing
I'm
us down.
actually trying to connect with one of our dev teams uh, and see what exactly, if it's something in our end or if it's something in general. Because you see now it loaded, so I think it's a connection issue in general, which I believe it is, but at least I got it to run. So let's just try this again. So if after this page, if anything like that happens again, we just go straight to QA. But I wanted to cover the other, 6, 7 icons that we have to cover in the top. But so guys, here it is. And again, thank you for hanging in here. This is live. These things happens. So what you're seeing here is all the extra apps that you have available for your store. You have apps for customer service, conversion boosters, migration tools, conversion tracking, tools and utilities, and AOV boosters. So all are identified as third-party apps, as you can see here, and you can just easily activate them. And we're gonna go over this once we do the final settings and the extra settings in, I believe it's in day 6. There you can learn how to integrate with Zapier, you connect your Google Analytics, you add your Facebook product feeds, your Facebook pixels, you integrate Cavio, Runtar, Taxier for your taxes, which is highly recommended, MailChimp integration, of course your GDPR settings, which we are compliant, the spin wheel, which is a fun way to present coupons and discounts to your visitors, as well as a winner coupon, and Facebook Messenger and chat free. These are new apps that we are actually adding. And of course, the social proof and the chat live. These are actually as well new, I believe. And this is one of the tools that a lot of people were asking for, and we finally got them to get the accessibility that we need, which is the Shopify migration tool. So if you happen to have, or if you happen to own rather, a Shopify store, you can easily bring it here when you configure this app, and we're going to show you how to do that as well when we explore these pages. But now let's go back to the main. With that, I believe, showing you exactly what all these buttons do. And thank you for the patience, but let's continue. So when you click this right here, this little house, of course, you will go to the dashboard. You will go back to where we started. And now this is what really makes me crazy, is now it's working normally. So now this is our product editor, which we're going to touch base also in a couple of weeks because we can create products. Here is our page setting, and we're going to start to do this now because of the time. So we're going to take a look now of the settings that we're going to be doing. This icon right here is, as I mentioned earlier, it will take you to your page designer, which we're going to use in day 3 with the home page and the product page designer. And this one right here is our Groove Quiz button that will allow you to create quizzes, which also is going to be featured later on within the challenge. And also, last but not least, this grouping right here, this icon, as I mentioned, when you click on it, it will show you your account. It will show you all the stuff that you need if you want to cancel your subscription, you request a feature, report a bug, support questions, your Facebook group, the registration for these webinars, as well as other links like partner with us if you have some of the products and things of that nature. Of course, now the link for the icon for the notifications is up. So here you get all your notifications, your latest orders, your new customers and messages. So whenever you open your store or your dashboard, that's the first thing that you will want to check, your notifications. This button right here will reload the store. It will clear on your cache. This button right here will take you to the GrooveKart Academy, and seems that the connection is working okay. Links are working okay. This will take you to your home screen. This will take you to the front of your store. Actually, no, I'm lying. This is actually for the Groove Marketplace, and this is, I'm going to take a close second here. The GrooveKart Marketplace, as I explained earlier, is where you get the products that you can buy so you can resell. All of these products are created by users and is a service for users. So if you need a backpack design, if you happen to be into the pet niche, you can actually select this product and sell it in your store. You can have the design, download it, and sell it in your store as your own. So all these are products created by users for our users. If you sell socks, knock yourself out. If you like cats, socks with cats. So take a stroll to the groovemarketplace.com so you will know what it is, and of course interact with that as much as you can. Last but not least is actually the actual icon for the card, and the card will actually take you to your front store. And it seems that everything is now going back to normal, I hope. And of course that button will take you to the front of your store. Now, these are the settings. This is the last part of our presentation today. And oh, what's that? What happened there? Communication halted, of course. And let's take a look at this. Store time, setup time. We're gonna do the store information, payment methods, domain name, and shipping. So let's start with that. Donna, I believe you mentioned that you do have an account with PayPal, correct?
I do.
Awesome, because we're gonna take a look at some of the stuff information that we're gonna need, and we're gonna do it live.
Okay. How exciting.
Wow, it doesn't sound like it. How exciting. I know. We had a moment.
I'm feeling a little apprehensive right now.
No, I understand, but you see, I'm just going by my CPU because I know there's a lot of factors in play right now. So don't feel like that. And guys, by the way, if you were for the first time joining us, I know there were a lot of trees today. It wouldn't be our style if something will not go slow, or I didn't have an accident earlier that day, or maybe my connection failed. And last week, actually, I've been having such a hard time with my connection lately, which I don't know, maybe next time I'm gonna allow you to present. Maybe the connection is better. It's been weird the past couple of weeks, and it's been weird everywhere. And making a little bit of parenthesis is just, it's been weird everywhere. I mean, just the way that things are functioning is just like the new normal, it's just so different. But let's get back to business here. So store information is pretty much straight up information. I mean, just straight up is easy. All that you need to do is put your store name, if you want your store phone number, your store email, and your store address. Now, the only tricky part here is if you want to enable your store or disable your store while you work on it. When you click this button in disable my store and you activate and you click save, guess what happens? Oops, your site is under construction. That's what it will display. It will say, nope, it's under construction. We're not gonna work today. Sorry, when you disable it, when you reload your store, it goes back online. So this is the disable my store button. It will be your best friend if you decide to disable your store at any given moment when you are working. So I highly recommend while you work in your store, getting the settings done so you don't get any people looking at your products or anything like that. Just disable it, and then you can access the dashboard and you can actually work with that completely. Now, payment methods. This is one of the most important parts because that's where you get paid. That's what you need to set up. So of course we have GroovePay. GroovePay is designed for anybody that might want to apply for it. You have to apply. You can apply at groovepay.com, and here's the settings to activate. When you activate, it will change pretty much. It will give you a new screen, and that new screen will tell you how to set it up right here in settings. We're not going to do this one because we need, of course, an account for GroovePay, but we're going to do one of these. And let me just tell you what these are. As you can see, it's PayPal, Authorized.net, Stripe, Uviva, and NMI Gateway. Those are the providers that we have so far. We expect to have more of these here because we are fulfilling a lot of the needs for Europe and other parts of the world. I know Uviva is actually part of a lot of the users from Ubiba are coming from Europe, some specific parts in Europe, as well as Stripe. Stripe is continental. I mean, you have certain countries that you can get Stripe. But always, guys, it's important, check your regulations in every single country. Go to stripe.com if you want to make sure that you are available to take payments with using Stripe in your stores. But for the sake of an exercise today, we're going to connect via PayPal. So in PayPal, we're going to click connect, and it's going to load up our payment system. So it's telling me now PayPal is active now, and I can go to the settings. It's going to tell me that I need two settings, my client ID and my secret ID. Now, in this part, I am going to do it with my account because I have no problem sharing that information with you guys. So I am going to log in into PayPal. So let me just log in into PayPal. And
So
Donna,
then it's
don't
my
worry.
job to do this in
Correct.
between and change it to mine. All right, I'll pay them.
Yes, or if you want, we can. Well, actually, you know what? Why don't we just do you want to use your information? Because I know that we're gonna probably have to display your email and maybe some sensitive information. So again, I'd rather ask.
Yeah, I'm happy. I think I'm happy. You can
All
see
right,
my email
perfect.
address. I don't answer my email anyway.
All right, so let's get ready to rumble then. So what we're gonna do is do me a favor. If you don't mind, I might need but no, it's gonna be a
So
different ID. So let
why
me do
don't
it.
yeah, you go ahead and do it, but I will follow along on my side and I'll send you my client ID and secret key. You show them where to
Perfect.
get it.
Awesome. Yeah, yeah. Let me just show because it's a little bit tricky with PayPal. Unfortunately, it's a little bit tricky. So let me just do it right now. Because once you guys, sorry, I'm clicking too fast. Once you click on this little box, you are gonna click here, developers, PayPal.com. And of course, it's gonna ask you for your login into your dashboard. So you click into your account. I am going to put this really quickly. And I'm gonna log in. It's gonna take me to the developer dashboard. It's important, guys, that you realize that you need a business PayPal account. Don't forget that. That is very important. PayPal business account. Anybody can actually convert their personal account to a business account. As a matter of fact, I believe, Donna, you did that this afternoon, right?
I did, yep.
And you didn't have to fill any other forms or anything like that. You just convert your account and it converted right away.
It converted right away, no problem at all. I
Great.
have had this PayPal account for a long time. I don't know if that makes a difference, but yeah, it was a personal account until just today.
Great. Oh, funny. Speaking of things being down, alert, an active disruption in payflow may be affecting production performance. So I think it was more of a general stuff today because it was
Yeah.
very weird. So, and it just, it's the new normal, as I said, especially with technology and everybody being at home working and watching Netflix. So you have two settings here, and this is also very important. You have your sandbox settings and your live settings. Make sure that when you're testing, you use your sandbox. But when you're live, when you're putting your information right here, you use your live keys. And the way that you do that is you switch to live. And as you can see, I have two names. I have for the GrooveKart. I click on my GrooveKart, and then I get my client ID is right here. And then my secret key. So I'm not going to reveal it, of course, because this information can be copied. Believe it or not, it's going to be a recording and people can stop the video and write it down, even though it's I believe it's a 90 characters code. So you will get that secret code as well. So you're gonna just go here, copy this information. Oh, give me 1 second. I think I pressed Control A in a very happy way right now. Copy. You're gonna bring that here. And then you're gonna do the same process with the secret. So you can just click secret, and let's just assume this is my secret again. So we're gonna go back here to the settings, and we're gonna save. And of course, it's gonna give me an error because it's gonna be the same information. So once you get your secret, it will tell you everything is set up. Or maybe see if I actually took it, but it's gonna be an error anyways. So you wanna make sure that you do the shared secret in the live module. Make sure that this is live. If you put the sandbox right here, it's going to give you an error. So make sure that it's not the sandbox, but it's your live key. Make sure that this icon right here in PayPal, it's blue. So that's one of them. I'm going to do them really quick so we get that covered. Again, if you need to go step by step, you can watch the replay and of course get to what you need to get with the clicks that we're doing and the steps that we're following. Now I'm going to close PayPal and I'm going to do an extra one. I'm going to do Stripe because Stripe is one of the most common ones, and you can have two. And I know there's going to be a lot of questions about this. You can have two payments, and it's always good to have two, especially with PayPal. PayPal is a great company, but unfortunately, if they decide to put a stop to your payments or accepting your payments for no reason whatsoever, they can do that. So I always, and I firmly believe in having a plan B as a backup. Always have two accounts. It could be Stripe, it could be PayPal, it could be authorized.net and PayPal, it could be Ubiva and PayPal, but it cannot be authorized.net and Stripe because they do work in the same system. And when I say the same system, they do have certain security settings that cannot be shared. You can actually use PayPal as a backup and then Stripe as a main account or vice versa. So if I try to connect right now Stripe, it's gonna allow me without, oh, it's not active, so I'm gonna, I think I have to disable this. And this is the example that I was telling you about. Right now I have active GrooveKart. GrooveKart works the same way like authorized.net, Ubiva, and Stripe, and MMI. It requires certain security settings that it cannot be shared. That's why it's telling me I cannot activate Stripe unless I deactivate or disable GrooveKart. So once I disable GrooveKart, you will see that the changes in PayPal are none because I still have my settings here. But now I can enable or can connect with Stripe. And you'll see that now in a second, right here. So now I can go in here and do the settings. It's exactly the same process. You have to go to your Stripe account. Let me just do that right now, stripe.com. And I'm gonna need my cell phone because it's gonna send me a code, a security code, as soon as I try to sign in. Wow, even Stripe is slow. And I knew it's something with my speed. I kind of know it. Now, once you're in your dashboard, in your store, in your payment, all that you do is select what is you have an option with Stripe to open different accounts with the same company. Mind you, this is a couple of the stores that I have, and I can use them. So, but this is my main account. And the way that you get that information that you're gonna need here for your publishable and secret key is right here in your API keys. Right here, publishable key, you just copy this number, the same thing. Reveal the key test token, you can do that. Also, be very aware, and this is exactly the same thing that happened with PayPal right now. It will tell you it's a test account. They call it differently. They don't call it sandbox, but they call it test data. So make sure that if you see this viewing test data, you change it, and this is the live one. If you see around a red edge around a box right here, then that means you're in the actually test mode. And this is important because we do get a lot of emails in a daily basis. Hey guys, for some reason I have my payments are not going through, or something happened, is because you were using the test mode, especially with the new stores. So guys, be mindful of that. Use always the view data, the view the actual live data, not the test, not this one, but this one. So this red frame has to go. Same situation, you can copy the information from here on your, oopsie, copy this information right here, drop it in your settings. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to drop it in both places. It's going to accept it anyways because it started with the same thing. And it will save them in your account. Now we have 2 ways of payment, and that's it. Once you have the information, once you have the access for your Stripe or your PayPal account, or if you apply for GroovePay, they will send you the information that you need to actually add in order to activate your payment methods or your payment modules, I should say. So it's very simple. It's just a couple of clicks and it's ready. So now we're gonna do the fun part, Donna, because you're gonna help me to do this. The domain name. So the domain name is actually the domain that you want for your store, plain and simple. Every single store works with a subdomain. As you can see here is donnafox.groovekart.com. But you can actually add any top domain name to your store. For example, Donna mentioned that she purchased the domain today. And Donna, is it donnafoxart.com?
It is. Yep.
Awesome. So what we're going to do, we're going to set up the domain. And with the help, of course, of Donna, and she will do this at her house because, again, we're going to be showing passwords and settings, so we don't want to make that public. So I'm going to say, hey, I want to use a domain with GrooveKart. Now, the instructions will be very clear, and they're right here. So once you get this box, it's going to give you the instructions. You're going to type the domain that you want. So we said is donnafoxart.com.
Correct.
So I hope I typed it right, and we're gonna just click save a domain. Once you save a domain, you're gonna notice that there's 2 settings that are gonna change. And let me see if it's actually running. And it is. Awesome. Why did it jump to my payment methods again? Oh, here we go.
There it is.
Let's see. The current domain, donnafoxart.com. So now this is set up. The current domain, donnafoxart.com.
So if we went to donnafox.groovekart.com, that no longer works, or does it always work?
No, it will work. It will work. Your subdomain always works. But what we're gonna do now, and if you can do this at your home, not showing your screen, of course. I believe you have your store at GoDaddy, right?
No, it's Namecheap.
Oh, it's Namecheap. Perfect. Log into your Namecheap account because this is what we're gonna do. In Namecheap, if you go here, you actually have the instructions in how to change it in Namecheap. You can log in, and it will tell you change your DNS for a domain, how to connect a domain name. So if you don't mind, take the next couple of seconds. It will take you maybe 2-3 seconds to locate that. Yep. Once you actually got the domain, so we're gonna just do that. We're gonna show you the process, but once it's completed.
I am there, so I'm right at step number 3. I clicked the manage button and I see what's in front of us.
So you're gonna find the name servers.
Find the name servers, okay. And this looks exactly like what I see here.
Great.
So the screenshot is exactly like what I see.
Nice. So now we're gonna tell you where to change it. So what we're gonna do is right after step 3, we're gonna change those to apollo.ns.cloudflare.com and uma.ns.cloudflare.com.
Would you do me a favor and send those to me in Skype so that I have them?
Of course, I'm gonna do it right now. I'm
Thank
gonna open another application and see if that runs normally. Hopefully it does. Hopefully it's not.
Oh, is Skype not open? Sorry.
No, it's quite all right. I'm just trying to minimize the push that I do to the computer today.
I totally get it.
I need to get me a new Mac. And by the way, guys, I love Mac products. I've been using Mac products for years. But if you have an old Mac, do not do the Catalina update.
Oh, yeah.
I did that last week, and my life has been quite difficult. And I just sent it to you via chat. Awesome. So you can add those. And maybe, Donna, since you're already in, and if you don't mind, maybe if I make you a presenter, we can see your screen.
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. Perfect. So let me make you a presenter so people can actually see. Give me 1 second here. And how do I do change presenter? Let me look for you here, Donna Fox, organizer. Awesome. And you're ready to be the presenter. In
Okay,
just a moment.
show my screen. Can you see?
Yes, awesome. Now, but let's ask our audience, guys, can you see, everybody can see Donna's screen right now? Just type a big yes. Awesome. Great.
All right. So yeah, all I did was I logged in, went to the domain list, and then under the domains, of course, now that I'm sharing my screen, everything's slow. I went to manage.
Wow.
And then,
Yeah, everything is a little slow.
custom DNS. So that's the first one. And here is the second one that you sent.
Hold on, because we're still looking at when you click the domain list, it hasn't moved at all. So I believe it's a connection issue everywhere. Can you move your mouse?
Yeah.
Because for some reason, and maybe guys, I'm seeing something else. Are we looking at the same thing, that the mouse is actually the domain list and it hasn't moved, right? If anybody can tell me exactly if I'm seeing the same thing.
We're not getting any messages in response to these questions.
Hopefully we're not talking to ourselves.
David.
David, are you with us today?
I'm here, yeah.
Okay, they're good. No, they can see. I see now. We can see that it's moving. I just got a bunch of messages that came over. So.
Okay.
Yeah, they can see. You can't see, but they can. It's updated
Awesome.
now.
Yeah, and I think it's definitely my connection. If they can see, please go ahead and continue. I'm sorry, but
Okay, so once I put in the domain name servers, is that it? Do I just?
Yep. Now I think you just move everything, and now it's yep, it's moving now.
Okay.
Yep.
Click the save. And now the custom DNS are in there.
Perfect.
See, it says that it may take up to 48 hours to take effect, but that's it,
Correct.
right? That's all I have to do here.
Yep, that's it. That's it. Now your domain becomes the domain of the store magically. So again, as Donna just mentioned, it's gonna take maybe 48 hours to actually happen. Usually it's less time. Maybe at the end we try to take a look at it, because but I don't know, with this connection today, I don't know if anything is going on, because it's not only at the beginning of our session, but I see that a lot of the other tools are actually just not responding as they should. So let's take a look later. And guys, you know what? Just after the webinar, let's take a look at donnafoxart.com. See if it opens up and see if you see the store. So Donna, if you want to send it back to me, thank you so much for doing that. And guys, that is actually how you change your DNS. It's very simple. And there's actually the instructions there for Namecheap, GoDaddy, and a couple of others. So if you want to make me a presenter again so we can move along and continue, will be perfect. Awesome. And now let me just show my screen. And now for some reason I cannot show my screen. Yes, show my screen. Awesome. I believe you are seeing my screen right now. So that is how you change your DNS in your domain. And let's just for the kicks and giggles, let's just do donnafoxart.com. donnafoxart.com. Yeah, it's still doing it.
Yeah.
It's certainly
I'm
just
not surprised.
I was actually just wishful
24
thinking.
hours.
yeah. But hey, besides against all odds, I wanted to try it. So guys, that is how you set up a domain. It's very simple. It's very quickly. All you have to do is go to your register and change your DNS. And again, the only drawback is that it will take up to 48 hours to set up your domain. Now, moving along and shipping, I'm just going to touch it really quickly because, as I said, we're going to dedicate a good portion of day, I believe it's 3 or 4. This is where you actually just kind of configure your shipping zones, where how much are you going to charge in certain areas of the country or areas of the world internationally. So we're going to touch a little bit more on this end in day 3 or 4, I believe it is. Also in taxes, because those two are very important. That's why we're going to dedicate more time. Taxes, of course, as I mentioned, depending on where you are in the world, you can actually just use a program like TaxYard, or you can manually enter your taxes. This is actually one of the areas that we recommend, that in every single business, you get a tax professional or an accountant to give you advice. Hey, tell me about what taxes should I charge, what taxes should I not charge, to make sure that you have the right information. Unfortunately, we cannot provide that kind of information because it kind of varies before every state and country. So don't forget to seek advice of a professional in that matter. But we're going to help you with the settings, not the specific numbers as I mentioned later on in the actual challenge. Staff
John, there are
accounts.
quite a few people asking the question how to set up the store, which is exactly what we are doing here. Like the basic store setup comes from GrooveKart. So you should get your store, login information once you either upgrade to the full-time GrooveFunnels because you got it as a bonus, or because you bought your GrooveKart store directly. So you show up your login information to your store. Everything that you see here is automatically set up by us when you purchase. And now we're going through the process of, like you just saw, the actual store setup of getting the domains. Next week, we're going to talk about the products and things. I think that's next week. So follow along. What we are doing now is setting up the store. So,
Correct.
But everything that you see here on the screen is what the GrooveKart app looks like for those of you that haven't logged in yet. We didn't do anything behind the scenes before we started this. This is a brand new store.
Exactly, and we haven't touched it. That's why we're doing the process, the step by step. And yeah, your store comes up pretty much pre-packaged. Once you logged in for the first time, as I did at the beginning, you will see this. This is what you get. You get all the buttons, you get all the information, you get all the links, and how everything behaves. That's why I explained at the beginning what each of these areas do. So we understand and what we're going to do if we need to do something with that specific area. For example, the front of the store or visual editor, which these 3 icons, I did not touch them a lot because we're going to have a more in-depth participation once we start doing the products and once we start designing our homepage, which actually is next week. Next week is the homepage. Since today we're working on the setup and we're working in all the single details for the setup, the most important part is the 8 key ones, which is the store info, the payment methods, the domain, and of course the staff accounts if you have staff accounts, also the email, and the pixels and embeds and pixels, codes, and embed codes. So let's move along. We have kind of limited time now, but I'm gonna just start to finish it. And right now it's 7:23, and as always, I always try to be respectful with time. So please do put a number 9 if you're okay by us extending this webinar maybe 15-20 minutes. I'm not going to say 5 minutes because it's going to take me more than 5 minutes to explain what I need to explain. So if everybody's okay to extend it, maybe, shall we say 7:45, which is exactly another 20 minutes. I think that will be enough time to do a couple of questions and try to wrap up this part. So I think you'll be okay, but let me know. I want to be, as always, try to be respectful of your time and Donna's time, of course. Donna, are you okay with make sure that we?
I am okay with that, and excited because I see a number of people are saying Donna Fox Art is up and running. So it's already, DNS is already populated in a few places.
Oh, you see, now you got me. Donna Fox.
Oh, it's not going to work for us. We've got the black cloud over our heads today.
No, it is. Look at
Oh,
that.
look. Woohoo.
Yeah.
Go
well,
Namecheap.
I guess whoever at Google server decided to start doing things right, they started working. everything started work happening faster. But you see, it was weird. It's one of those things that, again, guys, this is us. And it is one of those rare occurrences that when we do a live webinar, this is the risk that we all try, because this is us moving along with you. No gimmicks, no magic tricks. It's just what it is. We're trying to deliver the best product possible, but sometimes these things happen. And we grew from them, and we are growing every day from them, because we are making a product that we know in our hearts and in our minds that is going to be as powerful or as bigger as our competitors. So let's move along. Staff accounts. These accounts, and we get a lot of questions about this portion. This part is like, hey, I do have an account, but I don't want to give my access to my VA, my helper, or my secretary, or my virtual assistant. So what you do, you can just create and add a new employee. Once you click in there, you're going to get a new area where you're going to add an email address and a name and what the role of that person will be. And don't tell me that this is going to go slow again, because I'll probably just imagine that we might need to extend this to probably 10 o'clock. No, I'm kidding. No, let me just click back. Now it's going to just go to the staff accounts. Let me just close all these windows as well. Oh, let's just close. Let me just keep this one open. Oh, let's just close this one, and let's just do this one. Let me just go back. Let me just check again. Oh, now I'm in the tax rules again. So for some reason, it's taking me to taxes, shipping.
All right, so while we're just waiting for this, I think I'll just pound out a couple of these questions that I'm seeing,
That's
and I'm
perfect.
just gonna start here at the bottom. Can I import my Shopify store? No, you would have to rebuild your Shopify store. We don't have a way to import it. So basically, GrooveKart is a competitor to Shopify. They do essentially the same thing, but because the software is different, you'll have to rebuild on GrooveKart. Rob
That
asks,
is correct.
what do we need to take into account when choosing a domain name?
Oh,
Rob, that can be as complicated a question or as easy as a question as you want it to be. So, to show you the easy question, the easy version, nobody knew what eBay was before we started using eBay as an auction site. That word meant nothing. The domain name was nice because it's short and it's phonetic, which is good, but it doesn't have to mean something. Or you can have a domain name that means something. If, like in my case, Donna Fox Art, it's me. I want to brand me as an artist, and it was the shortest way to say Donna Fox Art. So that's why I chose that domain name over something else. But it easily could have been, if all I ever painted was pink unicorns, it could be pink unicorn paintings too. So you could make a domain that is based on your topic or your niche that you're going in. And I see you have a domain name generator you're showing.
yes, actually, while the questions pop up and I kind of went into my links, in our last class, we actually talk about choosing the right domain and finding something that is, that is appealing to your market, to your followers and your future customers. But also, you have to take into account that there is a lot of words in the language of English, Spanish, and all of the languages. Most of the words are already registered. So you're gonna get creative. And we use this tool in the last class. And let's say you want to have a product for pets or for, I mean, we always use pets. Let's just see makeup. So, and this tool right here, instantdomainsearch.com, and I'm gonna leave the information in the replay. if you type a word, it will give you some domain names, some ideas. So you can then make the decision. Okay, this is what I want. This is maybe fly makeup, maybe makeupness, maybe makeupport.com, maybe makeup property. You can actually type a word and it will give you some options. So this will make the domain buying process a little bit easier. So since we did like that little parenthesis there, yeah, you can use tools like this. Remember, it's instantdomainsearch.com. So you can actually just select the domain generator and get that there. Now let me just go back to where we were. We were actually at the stub accounts. And
Robert
yes, I
asked
did.
if a specific niche on a domain helps with SEO. Absolutely, it does.
Yes. Oh yeah, it does. And now, as you can see, the stub accounts, you can create the stub accounts. And let's just move along so we can be mindful of the time. And in Mails Editor, remember, mails are going to be, we're going to have a whole class of the email settings, so we can actually just teach you how to create the three-step process for your abandoned cart and any other emails that we can actually just show you guys to
There are a couple of
enhance
questions
your.
about how to have multiple stores. Whether you've purchased GrooveKart.com or you got it as a bonus when you upgraded to GrooveFunnels Platinum, that is for one store. One store. You can purchase additional stores at GrooveKart.com.
That is correct. And depending on how many you need, you can actually send us an email and we can actually just try to break out a good promotion for you depending on what are your needs. And that is just be more than 10 stores like we have recently. Let me just go now to, let me see if international, I believe is something within, okay, here is these areas is working now normally. So as I mentioned here in the international settings, you have the ability to see what countries you can actually serve or what countries you can sell. Remember, there is a list, and this is good that we can bring it up now because there is a list that unfortunately the US do not allow to sell to products to certain countries. I believe that parts of countries in Bernam, Myanmar, or some parts in Africa, we cannot have any commercial trade. So this is important that you set it up. I'm going to try to see if I can add also right here the OFAC. And this is important, guys, because if you have products that maybe you're going to sell internationally, this will help you in which countries you do not want to sell. Unfortunately, due to the nature of whatever the products may be, whatever this political situation is, the OFAC is a list that you have sanctions on e-commerce. And this is important, sanctions that you should know as a store owner. So this link is also going to be available there in the webinar, in the replay, because this is important information, what countries you should sell to, what countries you should not sell to, in order to avoid any fines or any kind of issues with the big brother. And by big brother, I mean government. So also the settings, we have the currencies, languages, as I mentioned, we're going to have a couple of languages in the near future, and currency. So if you want to change the currency here, you can do so. You can actually accept Canadian dollars and another 178 different currencies. Is it preferable that if you work with the US dollar, if you have your store in the US? Definitely. Maybe I live in Canada and you can use Canadian dollars. Have in mind always that you have to have the conversion rate. So always use these kind of settings at your discretion, so it will accommodate better to the areas that you're serving. Let's say I have a store here in the United States, but I want to sell, or I'm selling to Europe, and I want to be the Europe to be the default currency. All that we have to do is just look for the euro right here, and now I am able to start accepting euro. Don't forget to enable it. You have to always enable the current international currency. And last but not least, and really going through here quite fast, I'm going to just read it really quickly so you know what areas are we going to change, because this is very important, and we're going to dedicate a full day, maybe not a full day, but we're going to dedicate part of a day to tell you guys about all these stuff: the Google Analytics, the Google Merchant Feed, the Facebook Product Feed, the Facebook Pixel Tracking, and the embedded codes. All of these 6-7 sections serve a purpose. Start with the Google Merchant Feed. if let's say you have a list of products, which of course you're going to have, you want to connect it to the Google feed. And when I say to connect to the Google feed is this. I'm going to look for tablets, for example. And let's say you're selling tablets. This is what I mean by the Google feed right here. Google came up maybe 8 or 9 years ago, maybe a little bit more, with something called the Google Merchant account or the Merchant Center. And they allowed, of course, everybody that has a store to put their products directly. They've been improving this process for the past, as I mentioned, 6-7 years. And now they can directly allow you to create an ad using AdWords that connects your products. So what this part of your GrooveKart does, it's allow you to create the feed. So you can create the merchant feed, so you can actually feed all your products to the Merchant Center in Google. And you'll have the chance to, once you, let's say, buy an ad, you can select your merchant feed, so you can feature certain products. Like if I click right now, see all tablet computers, all these are actually different feeds from different vendors. You will find probably Best Buy, Walmart, Best Buy. But if you look for any product, you'll find different stores. Let's say caviar, for example. So caviar, you'll find different vendors. These are the most well-known caviar companies, or the companies that actually are putting their products in the Google feed. So that's the reason why we have a feed from Google to feed up your products to this section on the searches, which it helps a lot, by the way. So we're going to be studying that a little bit further. I believe it's in day 5 or 6. Same thing with Facebook product feed. The product feed will connect to your page in Facebook, as well as any other areas, especially now that there's a little bit of a change. So we got to be careful when we study this, because as of last week, Facebook announced the Facebook stores. And we have to make sure that we can have an alignment and use this option to feed your products into your Facebook pages and Facebook groups. The pixel tracking, we all know what it is pretty much your pixel that you connect from Facebook. We're going to connect that as well in the marketing section of the class. And the embedded codes right here, and this is a big one. The embedded codes are where you put the extra code or any extra code that you have from a third party. Let's say you want to add heat maps, like we mentioned probably 2-3 weeks ago. You add the codes right here in the head section. So that specific code will take the right source needed for that script to work and display it properly in your site, or display the results for any of the third parties that that you might connect on the embedded feed. I mean the embedded codes. And that's kind of it. That's pretty much the overall of getting to know the GrooveKart, menus and navigation. And right now we have maybe probably a couple of minutes to go with some questions. And Donna, so let's just start now the QA. And don't forget, guys, let's just review the actual video, review the webinar. We're gonna post the actual replay around maybe midnight today, depending on how fast things go. But it's gonna be up there in the Facebook group for you all to see, and also in our GrooveKart Academy. I'm sorry, in our GrooveDigitalAcademy.com. Donna, do we have any questions?
There are quite a few questions.
All right, let's just try to push them together. And let me just bring my QA right now, right here. And let's take a look at the questions.
There are a few questions about how to change your subdomain for GrooveKart, which they need to contact support for that, right?
I'm sorry, the what?
The subdomain for GrooveKart?
Yes, actually the subdomain, if let's say when you created your account, it has your name on it, yes, you have to send us an email to support@groovedigital.com, and we can just change that. Unfortunately, you cannot change it manually. It is going to happen. It is something that our guys are working on, so we can have the flexibility to do it automatically. But for security reasons, we always, at least for now, we want to make sure that we do the changes so there's no information loose or anything like that somewhere around the internet. So that's why you have to request it. It's actually support@groovedigital.com.
Nellie just reminded me that we need to let everyone know that this is our last webinar that we're doing on this service because we have exceeded our number of webinar registrations, so no new people can join the webinar. So we are doing these sessions from next week and until further notice in our Facebook group. So there will be a notification in our Facebook group that happens right around the same time. We'll go live at the same time in the Facebook group next week.
So we're gonna do a Facebook Live next week. That's gonna be amazing. I mean, that's gonna be a little bit of a change of pace for us because we're used to this system, but it's a change for the good because we're gonna give the option to more people to be able to join us. Unfortunately, our current provider, as Donna mentioned, has limited account to a certain extent. But we're gonna be teaching you guys how to do certain things. We're gonna be teaching you how to keep your store going and make sure that we complete the plan that we set out to complete. So it's gonna be a good change. Any other questions, Mrs.
Yep.
Fox?
So if we don't have in the GrooveKart setup their local currency listed, is there any way to change to their local currency?
Well, if we don't have the local currency, unfortunately, that means that we do not accept it. And I am not going to dare to say that maybe we can add it because it is an intricacy that I am not fully aware of. So before I say anything that is not true, I might have to say, unfortunately, no, it might not. You cannot add the actual currency. But if you send me an email at support@groovekart.com, I mean at groovedigital.com, I can do the research and make sure that maybe the currency that you need to use may be available. So just send me an email and we will definitely just take a look at that.
And one of the cool things about being on a new system, yes, next week, is that the replay will be immediately available as soon as the webinar is over right there in the Facebook group. So that is super convenient and it saves John from having to get up at midnight and take the file and move it, which is what he has been doing twice a week for the last 4 months. So first of all, thank you, John.
Yeah,
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
We all thank you.
Much obliged. Much obliged.
And now we don't have to wait to do that. It will be right there in the Facebook group. And of course, the next day we will put it in the GrooveKart store so no one has to stay up late. So this is a very big day for John.
No,
There's
it's always
also,
a pleasure.
I want to say one more thing as we wrap up. John has been with Groove Digital for 1 year tomorrow. It is his anniversary. So I would just like to sing happy anniversary to you.
Thank you, Donna. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a fun ride. I just remember that like it was yesterday when Mr. Serralta just gave me a call and say, "Hey, I know you're tired of your 9 to 5 with your corporate job. We're working with this crazy idea called GrooveKart, and we're gonna have plans to expand."
Why don't you come work 5 to 9 with our startup?
And this is the fun part, guys, because I always like to close, as you know, in a positive note. And it was the best decision I think I haven't taken the past 5 years, because having the ability to work with such an excellent human team, because from Mike Filsame down to myself, in between my support team, between working with Donna Fox, Tom Beal, Matt Serralta, Matt Naus, uh, John Cornetta, Mike Filsame, it's been an honor because these guys were people that I followed for years. I mean, when I met Tom Beal, and this is funny because, and I'm gonna probably I'm gonna stand it anyways. Like Mike does. Mike says, "Oh, I'm gonna just talk for 5 minutes, and I'll be done." No, we talk for hours. And I love you, Mike, by the way, if you see this recording. So, which I know you will. So yeah, it was one of those things that when I met him at GrooveCon, because right before I was hired, GrooveCon happened last year. I mean, in 2019. So I went to GrooveCon and I met meeting one of your idols, like Michael Sam. I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. Then I met John Cornetta. These are the guys that made it happen. I mean, these are guys that are well known in the industry. And seeing that day, uh, the Morrison brothers in stage, and being able to shake their hands and say, "Hey, hi, nice to meet you. I've been following these guys forever." And fast forward 20 days later, I made the decision to either continue the same path with my Fortune 500 company, working 9 to 5 and having the same rat race, not seeing my kids, or venture with a startup that has started very small and now we have 25 plus thousand customers, I believe. We have five
Oh
to
yeah.
7,000 stores online. It's amazing. It's a life-changing opportunity. And so when I took it, and now it's a year, so it just flashes by, but it's been an opportunity, and I always appreciate it. And yes, it's no longer 9 to 5. It's like 9 to probably 3 o'clock in the morning, but it's a labor of love. And this is what I was about to say, that when you enjoy what you do, it's not work. I mean, sometimes my wife have to come into my office and just knock in the door and say, "Hey, dude, go to bed. It's 3 o'clock in the morning," because I enjoy what I do, and especially in the support area. Because if you ask anybody, support areas is one of the most crazy areas in any company. But I enjoy what I do. I try to help everybody as much. I know I have sometimes challenges with timing and trying to keep up with the pace, but I am enjoying the ride, and that's why I'm so happy. And thank you for mentioning, Donna. I appreciate the fact that you just mentioned that you remember it. So
You
thank you
are
for that. Appreciate it.
absolutely worth celebrating, John. We treasure you as part of the company, and as Groove Digital is growing, we look for a long relationship with you. So
Oh yeah, no, I'm here for the long haul. I mean, maybe the new people are here for the first time. Maybe I'm boring them, but the story behind GrooveKart is beautiful, because Matt Geralt and I discussed this 7 years ago, and see him what he did with the company, it's amazing. So I'm so happy to be here, and I'm gonna be here for the next 8 weeks again with you guys. So I don't think there's any more questions. If there are, because right now we passed 2 minutes,
we're good.
and
There are lots of questions, but they can always reach out to you at
exactly.
groovesupport.net.
Yep. So you can actually send me an email, support at
That's support at groovedigital.com, since John went away somewhere. Support at groovedigital.com, and I'll go ahead and put that in the chat too. Um, support at groovedigital.com. John, you're just gone, aren't you?
Ooh, you there?
You. Oh, there you are. You were gone for a while.
Yeah, for some reason, I don't know if it was just my system or something, but I think it's just also the platform. Uh, anyways, I just mentioned that if you want to remind me of the domain name, so people can actually just go straight there and take a look at any questions that they might have, or send me an email. As I mentioned,
groovesupport.net is
Groove
the domain.
support done. Perfect. Awesome. And assignment of the week. So guys, please watch the replay and set up your store. And if you have questions, support at groovedigital.com. Send me a couple of screenshots. Send us a couple of screenshots with any questions that you might have. Try to set it up. Put your PayPal. Put your Stripe if you have. Try to connect your domain. I mean, those are the most important parts. Just make sure that your website is easy to identify, and also that you can accept payments. That will be the two most important parts. And the other stuff, we're gonna just touch it in deeper within the actual challenge, and we're gonna just be doing that in the next couple of weeks. So guys, with that said, I think we're gonna wrap it up. Right now it's 7:50. I know that we all want to go to bed and maybe not watch the news, but probably watch a movie with the family, enjoy time with the kids, and have a nice dinner. So Donna, thank you very much again, and
And there he goes. So thanks, everyone. I hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next week at the same time in the Facebook group for the next GrooveKart training. Bye, everyone. Make it a great week.